Here we are with part 2. It has been 9 more weeks since the last one. If you haven't checked it out yet, we ranked the first 11 weekly challenges right here. Now we're going to be ranking 12 through 20. And before this video even starts, I'd like to say none of these challenges here are going to come close to the top ones from the first video. So when I put one of these ones in S, it's not the same S as the first video. It's below that. I don't care if it's confusing. It's my video. First one we're looking at right here is week 12, and this one was a controversial one for lots of people. This is a unique one. It's mostly just floor carving. A lot of people had trouble with it. Getting enough speed to make the jump at the end was really hard. Once you got it down though, pretty easy. I think just the fact that it's mostly floor carving around, and the only way to make floor carving interesting is to make it fast and intricate. I don't think that really makes for a very fun weekly challenge. I think maybe I'm going to be putting this one in B tier. Now we got week 13. I'm actually a fan of this one. It introduced this new kind of mechanic with the ice where you just push yourself in and out and it allows you to go up and down. This challenge kind of brings together a lot of the different parts of the game. I like how it does this ceiling carving part here, and I do like all the carves in this one. The giant ceiling carve in 0G is kind of a fun way to end it, launching you super high up in the air at the end. This one's a really fun one to speedrun because it's kind of a longer one and it's not very hard, but there are lots of little places where you can mess up. Once you get going though, this one's really smooth. The carves are nice. I'm throwing this in A tier. Here we have week 14. When this one came out, everyone was calling it like the Roblox logos, or like they added Roblox to Orion Drift. And I was so confused when everyone was saying that. I did not understand it until like the end of the week. With that being said, this is kind of my favorite style of challenges where it's kind of focusing on one skill, being like just making wall carving harder. And I think it's done really well here. Like I said, I really like the challenges that kind of focus on one skill, and this one was really smooth, just carving the entire time, even the end. I think this is the first S of the video. Please keep in mind that this S is not on the same level as the S's in the first video. This is week 15, and this is the first week that had kind of the two dedicated routes. We have the super uber easy route right here, and we have the harder route, which we will watch in a bit. This is the first one which started that trend where we have a super duper easy challenge with a harder speedrunning route. And there's actually a reason why all the challenges have been like that recently, and I have a video coming out soon about that. With that being said, this one is just giving patterns out to everyone. Super easy. This part felt a little bit out of place to me. Here, we'll watch this harder version real quick. Here's a reverse Tassie. And there's another one right here, and it has this chain ceiling carve, and that essentially allows you to skip a bunch of it. But I don't know, this was kind of a trendsetter for all the recent ones that have been super easy. I'm not a fan of it. We might have to throw this one in F tier. I'm sorry. Now we're at week 16, and this is one of the later weeks that actually remind me of some of the earlier challenges. It's pretty flowy, lots of carves. The S carves, really similar to week 3. Nothing really clunky about this one. It's all just kind of smooth, and I don't really have much to complain about it. Not really sure what the point of this end part was. You know, I still mess with it. So with all that, I think I might have to put this one in S tier. But I am going to do something crazy. This is going to be a mid-tier list switcharoo. We're bringing week 14 down to A tier. I just don't think it's at the same level as this one. Now we're at 17, the circuit one, and I'm a big fan of this one. Also, very important to note, this one is themed around the pattern that you get. I absolutely love that. I didn't realize that initially, but it's purple and it has all the circuits all around. You're just parkouring on the circuits the entire time. I think that's really awesome. I also think the actual parkour elements are fun on this one. I think this ceiling carve, for some reason, a really fun ceiling carve. This one pretty smooth, pretty fast paced. It's themed. Nothing to complain about this one. This one's going in S tier. They were on a roll right here with these two. That brings us to week 18. And this one, another one of the easy ones that has the harder speed running route. This one hands it to you. We literally have monkey bars throughout the entire first part. This part kind of gives a little bit of week 8. We do have the harder version here, which I feel like could have just been the challenge, to be honest. It's not even too hard. I do think a lot of the skips on this hard one are pretty fun and pretty smooth. So this one does follow the trend of the easy ones with the hard speedrunning routes, which unfortunately I think is what the future of the weekly challenges holds for us. I do think it does have fun skips though. I think there's a nice spot in C for this one. Here's week 19. This one's a pretty average one, I feel like. I think this one's pretty smooth. I do like the skip that you can do right here by carving up to there, even ceiling carving there. I don't know how I feel about just parkouring with ice underneath you. It feels a little weird, a little thrown together. I also don't know how I feel about this part. It feels kind of like just random stuff is thrown everywhere. I think simply because of the fun, smooth skips that there are, it's going to be not too low, but I think because one of the skips is literally like a secret that's underneath the map, that's preventing it from being too high. I think it's joining the other one in C tier. And that brings us to this week, week 20. And this one is one of my least favorite ones we've had so far, I think. This one, like many of the recent ones, is easy with a harder speedrunning path if you're willing to take on the challenge. I do think it's fun when they have kind of themed sections, like how this one has these like I-beams that you have to go on, and there are the I-beams up here. And I wish there was more of like this happening. And many of the recent weeks have just been having like these platform parkour sections in it, which I think is pretty boring. This one does have pretty insane skips where you tassy underneath this entire block. I think the reason why I don't like this one is because it's just like these giant cubes that you have to navigate around. Like you just go over it and then back down. In this one, you just go next to, and then there's another one that you go under, around, and on top of. I don't know, it doesn't feel coherent. Doesn't feel like there's a parkour. It doesn't feel like there's a plan. I don't know, I feel bad, but this one's going in F tier. These last 9 weeks, I don't know, not as good as the previous ones. It's kind of like a reverse bell curve happening. So pretty soon I do have a video coming out about what has been happening with this weird trend in weekly parkours and what's actually going on and the reason behind it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys agree? What are your favorite weekly challenges? And I'll see you in the next one.